Facial piercings, hardest to heal to easiest to heal. Coming up next on Body Piercing Basics, episode number 77. So stick around. For those who are new to the channel, my name is DaVo. I'm a professional body piercer and have been since 1994. I own and operate the Axiom Body Piercing Studio located here, right here in Des Moines, Iowa, inside Skin Kitchen Tattoo. So, when I speak to you about these things, I'm talking added level of expertise that comes with being in the industry for well over 26 years. What we're going to talk about today is kind of a continuation of a series that I've been doing of the hardest to heal to the easiest to heal of a particular set of piercings. Last week I did ear piercings, so you can check that out. One of those cards will be up here if you're interested in getting ear piercings, even though I forgot the Tracus, which some of our viewers were very quick to point out, and I put my reactions in the comments pertaining to that and where I felt it fit into the overall, all the piercings. Today we're going to focus on facial piercings. Now, facial piercings are what I consider anything that's on the face itself that is not an oral piercing. We'll cover oral piercings next week. So if you're looking for oral piercings, wait till next week. What we're going to talk about today is a number of piercings that I just refuse to do, mainly because they have poor success rate, and I don't like to do things that have poor success rates. We're going to get into that and why here in a little bit, but the top three are three piercings that I don't do. The reason why I'm including them is because if I don't include them, people will ask. And I get asked about these particular piercings on a regular basis. So we'll cover them today. The first one being as in the hardest, and then we'll go to the easiest. The hardest would be the Antitracus. For those that are unaware what an Antitracus is, it's through kind of this upper area on the top of your upper cheekbone, right in here. These have a tendency to migrate and reject on a regular basis. They are a surface-to-surface piercing. Unless you have the perfect anatomy, super tolerance for piercings, and a piercer who knows what they're doing, chances are this piercing will reject or migrate over time. They tend to be grumpy. They tend to take a long time to heal. They tend to get a lot of contact and a lot of movement because you tend to move that area when you make various different facial expressions. Number 2 on the list would be the surface trachus. Why this one has suddenly became so popular, I have no idea. I'm guessing that someone's been sharing the same 5 pictures on Instagram over and over and over again. It is located in front of the trachus, and it is done from basically that flat surface right there in front of it. There's kind of with some people, there's kind of a loose spot or kind of an indentation right in front of your trachus. It's kind of done into that area. These do not have a good success rate. They tend to migrate, they tend to reject, and for those, in case you're new to this, rejection is where your body completely pushes it out. Migration is where it moves it slightly one way or another. They're difficult piercing to heal out. They're located on that flat part of the body that tends to get a lot of contact. They also can get some movement depending on how you speak and talk and etc. and what facial expressions you make. Either of these piercings, either the surface-to-surface trachus or the anti-eyebrow, I would suggest getting done if you absolutely insist on it with a surface-to-surface barbell. For those that are not familiar with what a surface-to-surface barbell is, it is a barbell that goes like this. And it has to be perfectly pierced to the exact length of the barbell, and the person who's doing it better have a lot of experience with surface-to-surface piercings, just like the Antitracus. Unless you have the tolerance for them, chances are this is going to reject or migrate or never heal completely. The bridge of the nose. This is done at the bridge of the nose, basically right here. This piercing is one of the 3 that I refuse that are on this list. It does have a tendency to migrate or reject unless it's in exactly the right spot and you have the right correct anatomy. I've seen many of them that they heal, but they heal a little bit this way or a little bit that way instead of being straight on like you want it. The other thing is that if you wear glasses, sunglasses, anything that's going to be in the area, they tend to get knocked a lot and they tend to cause issues. And if you wear glasses, you're increasing the likelihood of infection or other problem unless you can keep those glasses completely disinfected on a regular basis. There are people that have had very good success with this piercing. Like I said, and I've said many times, there's a reason for that. Either they have the correct anatomy that's perfect for that particular piercing, and the correct jewelry, and a high tolerance for piercings. Not everybody can get this, and when they do get it, it can be a very grumpy, difficult piercing to heal. For those reasons, I generally will refuse to do them. Now let's move on to some piercings that I actually will do, starting with the high nostril. The high nostril is located in the higher part of the nose, above the general, where the general placement is of the nostril. It's just below that thick bone. These tend to have a fairly easy heal, but the reason why I listed them before nostrils is they are a little bit higher on the nose, a little bit more contact with things, including glasses. If you are going to get this piercing done and you do wear either glasses or reading glasses or sunglasses or anything that involves cheaters, I really suggest that you bring them along to the appointment. Once the piercing is marked, that you put them on and make sure that they don't have contact. This piercing can also be a little bit more difficult to kind of monitor as far as the healing process because you really don't have that much access to the inside of your nose. It can also be extremely difficult to change and require additional tools to do so. Number 5, nostril piercings. Probably one of the most common piercings on the planet. Everybody and their brother has it. They tend to be a little bit on the grumpy side, mainly because of sleeping, in my opinion. Also because it tends to be one of those collection points in the body where dirt, oil, and etc. kind of collects. Add to that the fact that people insist on wearing makeup during the healing process and a whole load of other issues with movement, etc. This piercing tends to sometimes be a difficult heal. It's not as difficult as the other ones on this list, but it can be. Lots of precaution, lots of isolation is needed to ensure that you don't have issues with it. Number 6, eyebrows. Eyebrows have a tendency, unless you have the perfect anatomy for it, to migrate or possibly reject. They're just one of those piercings that if you don't have that beefy meat there, that kind of added brow to support the piercing, they will tend to reject. They can also be difficult to heal because of their location and because sweat and etc. does collect in the area, and along with it, dirt, debris, and etc. It also is a part of the body that most people kind of sleep on. It can affect sleep. It can be a little bit on the grumpy side for that reason. It's a little bit more difficult to heal than other piercings, but I think less difficult than a nostril. When they're done correctly and you have the correct anatomy for it and you put the correct jewelry in, it will heal without issue usually. Generally, when you see a lot of people that have complained about migration or rejection, it's generally either improper placement, they don't have the anatomy to begin with, or the jewelry is the incorrect shape and size. With the eyebrows, some people seem to do better with rings initially right off the bat. I know that goes against a lot of things that we talk about on this channel, but in some cases, the ring seems to be lighter and less prone to cause agitation and irritation. Otherwise, a curved barbell. Never, ever, ever, ever pierce it with a straight barbell. It puts too much outward pressure on the piercing and will lead to migration and rejection. Last on the list is septum piercings. Yes, septum piercings. They're easy to heal. They tend to be out of the body. Or inside the body, more protected area, doesn't get as much contact with dirt, debris, etc. Generally, you can even flip it up during the healing process. In some cases, they'll heal faster and with less problems that way. Most people do have the anatomy for it, so it's an easy piercing to get done and healed. From a piercing standpoint, they can be a pain in the ass, to be honest with you. Sometimes they do heal a little bit crooked this way or another, no matter how well they're performed initially, just basically because that pressure and the swelling can sometimes move it this way or that way. It's also, some people have a perfect sweet spot that's really easy to hit. Other people don't. So it's one of those piercings that a lot of piercers, including myself, do tend to struggle with. And we never, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but because most people's nose is not perfectly straight, I tend to like overguess where it should be mentally, and they always look crooked to me regardless if they're straight or not. So that's just my artist eye and an annoyance that I personally have. And a lot of times it's just because the jewelry shifted a little ways this way or a little ways that way. The other thing that really annoys me is when they are done too low and they hang in through that bottom section of cartilage. That just looks terrible to me. They should be high up front and away from the face as much as possible so that they can hang freely when they're down. So that's it. The facial piercings, hardest to heal, the easiest to heal. If you have any experience with these piercings or have questions, please leave a comment. I usually answer them if I have time. If you liked the video, found it informative, found it interesting, found it entertaining, give me a thumbs up. Let me know that you like it, because we like it when you like it. It makes me warm and it makes me fuzzy, and that's the way that I like to be. If you like merch, you like swag, you like to have stuff that says body piercing on it and tattooing on it and kind of shares your pride, or shows and expresses your pride, I should say, in the body art that you wear, check out our merch store. We have various different products, from t-shirts, phone cases, pillowcases, beach towels, hoodies, tote bags, leggings, etc. Roughly about over 12 different designs. You can get it in various different colors. Link is in the description. There's also one of those merch bars down there. Till next time, here's hoping all your piercings heal with ease and without a single issue. And if you're in the Des Moines, Iowa area, I hope to see you for your body piercing needs in the future. Have a good day, everybody. Stay safe, stay clean, wear your mask, wash your hands, and stay healthy, because we want you around.